The NBA, once the crown jewel of basketball, now finds itself under a harsh spotlight. Fans and critics now feel as though the league cares more about profits and branding rather than the actual game.
They have to do something to make a change, or else no one's going to want to watch.
I hate it. It's straight bullshit.
What the NBA is becoming, it's just a viral clip that you'll see the next day.
While players sitting out and a lack of passion on the court only adds fuel to the fire. But just how did we get here? And is the modern NBA finally being exposed?
In the end, that's what this comes down to. The protests are definitely legitimate and profound. We get all of that. We can't ignore it. Pay attention to it. But what's the end game?
The modern NBA has cultivated a culture of entitlement that sharply differs from the determination and toughness of past eras. Today's players enjoy unparalleled privileges, luxurious travel, advanced medical care, and salaries that dwarf those of their predecessors. Despite these advantages, complaints from players about fans, media scrutiny, refereeing, and even their playing conditions have become increasingly common. In previous decades, NBA players endured harsh schedules with far fewer resources. Travel often involved commercial flights, medical care was rudimentary compared to today's standards, and salaries, while respectable, were modest by current standards.
We can't believe an NBA player to make it $1 million. That's how crazy it was thinking about money back in the day.
Yet players like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson played night after night with a relentless drive to win. The concept of load management didn't exist. Players competed for pride, fans, and their team's success, regardless of the physical toll.
There are players that are actively deconditioning themselves, making it harder to do 82 games. I'm not going to talk about how I played 82 games, then went to the finals and came back and played 80 games and went to the NBA finals, did 2 summer league. All of that can be done.
In contrast, modern players, while benefiting from private jets, state-of-the-art facilities, and multi-million-dollar contracts, often voice dissatisfaction. Complaints about back-to-back games, fan behavior, and perceived media harshness have alienated parts of the NBA's audience. Fans are left questioning why players with so many advantages show less resilience than those who face greater challenges. Perhaps no issue better illustrates this cultural shift than load management.
About not playing back-to-back. If that's what you want to do, and this is just my opinion, keep that in-house. Because now you're setting yourself up for, I think, a lot of criticism, which is happening.
While initially implemented to preserve players' health, it has significantly diminished the regular season's competitiveness and fan appeal. Star players frequently sit out games, often depriving fans of opportunities to see their favorite athletes perform live. This practice has turned some regular season matchups into lackluster exhibitions, undermining the league's reputation. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver introduced a 65-game minimum rule for major awards, including MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, to address the issue. However, even this modest effort has drawn backlash.
And it's something new we're trying, but there's been a fair amount of chatter about it on social media as well, and the players seem to have embraced it. So I'm particularly thankful to the Players Association for their willingness to sit down with us and try something new.
Players like Draymond Green criticized the rule, claiming it unfairly targets today's athletes compared to past players who didn't face such restrictions.
Everybody's happy with this 65-game rule until you got a bum on NBA, all-NBA team, until you got somebody that's not totally deserving to be the MVP of the league because someone else didn't qualify before the game.
What Green and others fail to acknowledge is that these rules exist precisely because load management was never an issue in earlier eras. Beyond load management, modern players often air grievances about officiating and media coverage. Criticism of referees, claims of unfair treatment, and even frustration with social media feedback have become frequent talking points.
For me, the worst thing is when I actually go and talk to the ref and they say it was nothing. Like I go over, you didn't see that? No, I didn't think it was anything.
This shift reflects a larger cultural change where comfort and individual priorities often take precedence over competition and accountability. The NBA All-Star Game, once a showcase of the league's best talents competing with pride and passion, has become a shadow of its former self. Fans now view it as little more than a glorified exhibition with minimal defense, excessive three-pointers, and lackluster effort. What was once a must-watch event for basketball enthusiasts has turned into an uninspired display that fails to honor the talent it's meant to highlight. Modern All-Star games are often characterized by their lack of intensity. Defense is virtually non-existent, with players allowing easy layups, uncontested dunks, and three-point attempts from absurd distances. Last year's game featured over 180 combined three-point attempts and scoring that exceeded 200 points, making it more of a shooting contest than a competitive basketball match. In stark contrast, All-Star games of the past showcase true competition. The 1988 All-Star Game, for example, remains a fan favorite, featuring legendary players like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar battling it out with pride. These games weren't just exhibitions, they were intense matchups where defense was played, strategies were executed, and every player took their role seriously. The effort was evident, and fans were rewarded with a product that felt authentic and meaningful.
Who's going to be the most valuable player?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
No.
Would you take a guess?
Either Larry Bird or Michael Jordan.
Modern stars like LeBron James and Kevin Durant have criticized the new All-Star Game format.
We got to do something. Obviously, the last couple of years have not been a great All-Star game that Sunday night.
Calling for a return to the traditional East versus West structure.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it. It's terrible. All-Star game, formats changing, all the formats, terrible in my opinion.
While their sentiments resonate with many fans, these same players fail to acknowledge their role in the game's decline. The lack of effort and competitiveness displayed during these games falls squarely on the shoulders of the participants, who often treat the event as a casual pickup game rather than an opportunity to showcase their skills on a grand stage. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has attempted to revitalize the All-Star Game by introducing new formats, such as team drafts led by captains and monetary incentives for the winners. While these efforts have added some intrigue, they have failed to address the core issue: the players' unwillingness to take the game seriously. No amount of innovative formatting or flashy promotions can compensate for a lack of effort on the court. Fans have expressed their discontent with the state of the All-Star Game through social media, calling it boring, a joke, and unwatchable. Many longtime viewers missed the days when the event carried weight and felt like a celebration of basketball excellence. The consensus among fans is clear: the All-Star Game needs to return to its roots. A common suggestion is to bring back the East versus West format and encourage meaningful participation. Fans believe this structure, combined with a renewed emphasis on competition, could help restore the game's credibility. Social media is flooded with comments like, "Why not make it about pride again?" and "We want to see players trying." The NBA has gradually transformed from a competitive league rooted in team success to a billion-dollar enterprise where individual branding often takes precedence.
Branding is something that has shifted a little bit, right? When you came in the league out of Arizona, you out of Ohio State, there wasn't a focus on making the individual like the star.
In today's league, players are celebrated as global icons, leveraging social media platforms, endorsements, and off-court ventures to build personal empires. While this evolution has expanded the NBA's global reach and financial success, it has also led to a noticeable decline in the competitive spirit that once defined the league. Modern NBA stars are not just athletes, they're brands. Their focus often extends beyond the basketball court, with many prioritizing endorsement deals, curated social media personas, and entrepreneurial ventures. This shift has created a dynamic where individual accomplishments and off-court activities overshadow team success. A player's social media following or endorsement portfolio can sometimes hold more weight than their contributions to winning championships. For example, players like LeBron James have masterfully balanced basketball with off-court pursuits, launching media companies, starring in films, and spearheading social justice initiatives. While such endeavors are admirable, critics argue that the league's focus on personal branding diminishes its emphasis on the game itself. Teams are often built around maximizing the marketability of their stars rather than fostering a cohesive unit striving for championships.
I think only 30% of the league trying to win. The other 70%, they just trying to make sure they profit.
30 might be
20.
Generous.
This modern landscape stands in stark contrast to previous eras, where players prioritized the league's growth and competitiveness over personal gain. Legends like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan played through injuries, endured grueling travel schedules, and faced harsh media scrutiny, all while earning far less than today's players. These sacrifices laid the foundation for the NBA's current financial success, creating creating opportunities for modern stars to thrive both on and off the court. However, the respect for past eras seems to be waning. Many modern players dismiss the achievements of their predecessors, often labeling them as inferior due to perceived limitations in athleticism or skill. Such criticisms overlook the fact that those earlier players built the NBA's reputation through sheer effort, grit, and a commitment to winning. As one fan commented, the players who made the NBA what it is today didn't have charter flights, advanced medical care, or multi-million-dollar contracts, yet they gave everything for the game.
He didn't see Charles Barkley play. He didn't see Larry Bird play. He didn't see Isaiah Thomas, one of the most skilled point guards this game has ever seen, a person that Michael Jordan has called the second greatest point guard in the history of basketball.
The league's shift toward business and branding has significantly impacted its competitive integrity. With so much focus on individual achievements and off-court ventures, the pursuit of team success and legacy often takes a back seat. Load management, for instance, is seen by many as a symptom of this cultural shift. Stars sit out regular season games to preserve themselves for the playoffs or other ventures, leaving fans disappointed and the league's competitiveness diluted. Additionally, the emphasis on marketable players has led to uneven team dynamics. Super teams formed by high-profile stars joining forces have made the league's outcomes more predictable and less thrilling for fans. The result is a product that feels more like a showcase of individual talents than a battle for team supremacy. The rise of the three-point shot has undeniably revolutionized basketball, but it has also contributed to a game that many fans find increasingly monotonous. Once a strategic weapon, the three-point shot has become the focal point of modern offensive strategies, driven by analytics that prioritizes efficiency above all else. While this approach has its merits, the over-reliance on perimeter shooting has stripped the game of the variety and unpredictability that once made it so captivating.
I ruined the game. I did not tell y'all to shoot that shot.
In the modern NBA, teams are designed to stretch the floor and maximize three-point attempts. Coaches and players rely on analytics to dictate their game plans, often emphasizing volume over creativity. The result is a league where nearly every team employs the same offensive blueprint: space the floor, shoot threes, and minimize mid-range attempts. While this approach can be effective, it has led to a homogenized style of play that lacks the diversity of previous eras. Gone are the days when mid-range maestros like Kobe Bryant or post-up dominators like Tim Duncan showcase their unique skills. Instead, the game has become a long-range shooting contest, with teams routinely attempting 40 or more three-pointers per game. This shift has left many fans yearning for the depth and complexity of basketball strategies from the past. Social media is rife with complaints about the NBA's current reliance on three-point shooting.
Right now, it is being set up analytically. The proof's in the pudding that if you play this way, it equates to wins. So you can't just remove that.
One fan lamented on Twitter, "Every game feels the same, just a barrage of threes with no variety." Others expressed nostalgia for the days when mid-range jumpers, post-up plays, and physical battles in the paint were staples of the game. The lack of diversity in play styles has alienated casual viewers and frustrated loyal fans who feel the game has lost its soul.
But as a viewer, I think there is something to the game being a little bit too predictable.
Even players and analysts have voiced concerns about the monotony of the modern game. Charles Barkley, a vocal critic of analytics-driven basketball, has repeatedly called for a return to more balanced offensive strategies.
It's awful basketball.
No defense.
No defense, and it's become a three-point shooting contest.
Basketball is supposed to be about creativity and competition, not just who can shoot more threes, he remarked during a broadcast. The predictability of gameplay has had a noticeable impact on NBA ratings. Casual fans, drawn to the excitement of diverse offensive strategies and thrilling rivalries, are tuning out as games become increasingly formulaic. Loyal fans, too, express frustration with the lack of innovation, leading to a broader disengagement with the league. The golden eras of the NBA were defined by an unwavering commitment to excellence, with players like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan epitomizing the competitive spirit. Their approach to the game wasn't just about winning, it was about elevating the league, their teammates, and their rivals. The passion they brought to every game, whether in the regular season, playoffs, or all-star events, created a legacy that still resonates with fans. Players in past eras approached basketball with a level of intensity that made every game feel significant. Magic Johnson's fast-paced brilliance, Larry Bird's gritty determination, and Michael Jordan's relentless drive to dominate on both ends of the court set the standard for what it meant meant to be an NBA superstar. These players didn't just focus on their success, they played with pride for their teams, their cities, and the league as a whole. The effort wasn't optional, it was expected. Players embraced challenges, took responsibility for their performances, and thrived on the competitive nature of the game. Regular season matchups were battles, not afterthoughts, as stars sought to prove themselves against the best night after night. This relentless pursuit of excellence was a key factor in the league's rise to global prominence. To recapture the essence of those past eras, the NBA must focus on reviving the competitive spirit that defined its golden years. One way to achieve this is by celebrating two-way players, those who excel on both offense and defense. Recognizing and rewarding such players through league promotions and awards can encourage a renewed emphasis on effort and all-around skill. Incentivizing regular season performance is another crucial step. Introducing meaningful rewards, such as bonuses or recognition for consistent effort, could motivate players to bring intensity to every game. Additionally, creating schedules that prioritize marquee matchups and rivalries can reignite fan interest and inject excitement into the season. To combat the negative impact of load management, the NBA should enforce stricter rules that limit resting star players during nationally televised games. This ensures fans get the competitive matchups they expect and maintains the integrity of the regular season. Mandating a minimum number of games played for major awards like MVP or All-NBA teams can also hold players accountable for consistent participation. Bringing back the East versus West format could restore the All-Star Game's competitive edge, reconnecting fans with its historical significance. To further incentivize effort, the league could offer significant bonuses or exclusive recognition for standout performances. Highlighting all-star achievements in league promotions and discussions would encourage players to take the game seriously and deliver a memorable spectacle for fans. While analytics have reshaped basketball strategy, an over-reliance on three-point shooting has led to monotonous gameplay. The NBA should encourage more balanced offensive strategies, emphasizing mid-range plays, post-ups, and other traditional basketball skills. Adjusting the rules to reward diverse scoring methods could foster creativity and variety, keeping the game fresh and engaging. The modern NBA faces a crossroads as entitlement, lack of effort, and over-commercialization reveal significant flaws in the league. Fans are growing disillusioned by predictable gameplay, disengaged players, and a focus on branding over competition. Without meaningful changes, the NBA risks losing its identity and loyal audience. The league has the tools to reignite its legacy by prioritizing competitive spirit, emotional stakes, and authentic basketball. But the question remains, will the NBA take the game seriously again or continue down a path that values profit over passion? If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to watch our next one shown on screen.